Fairy Max Power, our most powerful grease-cutting formula to effortlessly tackle nasty baked-on pans like this, with 4 times less scrubbing versus the next best-selling brand, without needing hot water, for less time at the sink and more time together. Fairy Max Power, maximum power, minimal scrubbing.
What causes sensitive teeth? Did you know the most common causes of sensitive teeth are gum problems and weakened enamel? I recommend Triple Action Sensodyne Sensitivity Gum and Enamel 3 actions in 1 toothpaste.
Enjoy uninterrupted videos with YouTube Premium and get into what you're into. With ad-free, offline and background play. Try.
This is Complicated Relationship Matters with Dr. Mark Ben, adding life and values to relationships.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You're welcome to another episode of Complicated Relationship with Dr. Mark Ben. Last week we had a great time with a very banging story, and today we'll be bringing to you another banging story, and we would actually want your opinion on this story. If you're just hearing me for the first time or joining my channel for the first time, please, I will actually advise you, if you could do me a favor by subscribing to our channel on the YouTube, and also like our videos and click on the notification bell in case we have a new video, that you'll be the first person to be updated about the new video. Thank you for joining this broadcast once again. I would advise to grab a chair and also grab maybe a cup of tea, a cup of water, and a big bag of popcorn, because we're going to go a long haul today by telling you something that's going to be of interest to you on a relationship matter we just got from the Republic of Germany. Okay, that's what this story is from Germany, and we want you to get your input. And for those who also not be able to speak with us, could just leave your comment at the comment section of the YouTube, or also if you are joining us live on TikTok, then you could actually share with us as well. You could also leave your comment as well. So I want this to be kind of an interactive session as well. So I'll be looking forward to hearing from you. about this. So Dempsey C, thank you for joining. Thank you for joining. Mixie, CEO Mixie, thank you for joining. Thank you so much for joining this broadcast. Thank you. Now, this is the story. Okay, before we go into the story today, I'm going to actually read a disclaimer notice to you quickly. A disclaimer notice. Now, the views and opinion expressed in this broadcast in this program are those of the speakers and not necessarily reflect the views or positions of any entities they represent. Moreover, the information as well contained therein does not constitute or substitute any professional counseling or advisory services that viewers might be engaged in. In addition, content provided therein does not claim nor represent any form of therapeutic alliance which viewers might associate with through the material provided in the videos. Should viewers feel the need or require such assistance, we recommend seeking relevant support services for further assistance or contact MB Relationship Coaching and Consultancy for relationship coaching sessions. Now we go back to the story for today. Like I said, this is a very big bang. We just got the story right from the Republic of Germany. And it's a story about a couple, okay, who lived in Germany. They're still living in Germany right now because this is just fresh story, okay? And would actually want your opinion on this event. Now, there's this guy called Lucas. Lucas got married to Ella. To Ella. Ella is the wife, so Lucas is the husband. Okay? They've been married for about 10 years, and they do not actually have any child for now. But something happened. Before I tell you what actually happened, they have a very good relationship going for both of them. So, but at a point in time, the husband began to, I mean, Lucas, who was the, say something, okay, who is, um, who is Ella's husband, began to have issue, okay, with his genital organ, which means he couldn't get it up, okay, and he tried so much to get it sorted out. He visited his GP, went for so many appointments at hospitals, they gave him drugs, this thing refused to get up. So Ella actually was quite understanding. She was able to stay in the relationship and she was enduring the whole stuff. So after a while, Ella couldn't endure the whole issue, that a kind of relationship that lacks that kind of intimacy, because there was no intimacy involved in this kind of relationship at this point. So at some point in time, Ella had a conversation with Lucas and advised Lucas to actually do anything he could to actually help her situation, because she will need a kind of she will need intimacy at the end of the day. So they both agreed, and she wouldn't mind if Lucas could actually pay someone to do Lucas' job. What was Lucas' job? That is for someone to for Lucas, her husband, to look for another man who would actually sleep with her and get paid for the service. Lucas was actually reluctant actually to get this done, but through the persuasion of Ella that brought in the suggestion, he went ahead to look for a co-worker that he felt he could trust to do the job for him. So the guy, what this co-worker name is Ben. So they got Ben. So Ben came in and to get this job done, and he was being paid each time he slept with Ella. Look, Ella, who is Lucas' wife. Okay, so this led after a while, this event actually metamorphosized into Ella being pregnant. Ella had a baby boy, bouncing baby boy, handsome boy, and both Lucas and Ella, they were so happy at last. God answered their prayer through the event that had occurred. So they began to bring up this child. But there was a twist to the story after a while. Ben came back and began to require or claim being to claim he wanted to claim the custody of the child. And Ella stood her ground and say that wouldn't happen. But Ben was the opinion that it was the one that got Ella impregnated, so the child belonged to him. And if DNA were to done, at the end of the day, to also justify the fact that Ben owned the child. But Ella would disagree on the basis of the fact that Ben was paid to sleep with her, and whatever happened as a result of that incident or event does not constitute the fact that Ben could claim the child. So this is where the story lies right now. They are still dealing with this issue. And as things are going right now, as things are actually going the direction which is going right now, it's getting so easy. So we've got just a kind of questions for you like today, and if you could actually answer those questions are quite very simple. How do we handle this issue? How do we forward with this issue? Okay, the questions will simply be based on the story that I've just actually told you right away. So I will get the line open in a while so that you could actually be part of it. You call in, you could also drop your comment as well and how to go along with this issue. For those coming in, this is a very messy situation. It's a very messy situation. This actually happened in the Republic of Germany. Okay, those who are actually watching on TikTok, please could you just tap the screen for about a minute and let's increase the likeness to 2,000, please. In the likeness about 2,000. Those watching on the TikTok, just click your screen. When you actually click the screen, it shows to TikTok that we are live. Okay, we are live so that the broadcast won't be taken off. Okay, thank you so much. So the takeaway of the story: one, Lucas was married to Ella. Ella was the wife of Lucas. Okay, let's put in a parenthesis right now. Lucas was married to Ella. Ella was wife of Lucas. So Lucas was the husband of Ella. And they got married. Okay, the marriage was about 10 years. I think above 10 years. And in that marriage, they were getting on well. Ella and Lucas were getting on well with their relationship, but they didn't have a child. But that was not even the issue. The issue at the end of the day is that Lucas suddenly had a very big issue with his genital organ, which means he could not get it up. And he went to his GP, also had numerous appointments with the hospital with doctors. They tried all good, but this thing refused to work. Then Ella was able to convince Lucas to bring in a man to be paid to do the job, which means to bring in a party that will be paid to make love with her. Okay, let me put that way. Okay, to make love with her. So Lucas reluctantly agreed, and he could only get someone. He was looking for someone that he could trust. So he got Ben, who was a co-worker, to do the job. So Ben was paid each time he came in to sleep with Lucas' wife. That was the agreement. Okay. Then after a while, Ella got pregnant, had a baby boy. Then 2 years later, Ben came back to want to claim the child, and Ella stood her ground that Ben had no right or would not have any access to that child because he was paid to do a job, and having a child wasn't part of the arguments. So, how do you think that this matter will be resolved? Because it is actually getting so messy now. I've got two questions for you that I want to look into. This first question would be, okay, simple. How do you think this matter should be handled? Okay, should be handled. Then the second question would be this: is Ben's decision to claim the child right in your own eye? Is Ben's decision to claim the child, is it right in your own eye? Okay, is it right? I mean, is it a right decision? What do you think? That's your opinion. Okay, we just want your opinion. So there's no right or wrong answer to this. It's just opinion that we actually desire at this moment. Okay, so should I mean what sorry, now Ben is coming back after 2 years to say the child belonged to him and to claim child. Ella stood her ground to say, no, you can't claim that child. Though you slept with me, though you made love with me and I got pregnant, but you were paid to do that. Okay, having a child is not part of the agreement. I'm saying that. So that's where the situation actually stands as it is right now. So then, decision to claim that child, is it right? What's your opinion on that? On it, please. Could you just type in your opinion if you're on the Insta, I'm sorry, on TikTok, or if you want to actually come in, I'm going to open my box right now for the guests on TikTok so I could actually hear from you. Okay, allow the press of viewers. Yeah. Okay, let's try to set up now. Okay, that's done now. So what's your opinion? So how do you think this matter should be resolved in your own, I mean, in your own heart, I mean, how do you think we should move forward? How do you think, how will you resolve the issue if this issue was brought to you? Is another way to actually ask the question as well. I want to hear from you. Could you just type in, right? Roadhand, thank you for joining. Sending your request to join, okay, and that'll be fine. Sending your request to join, that'll be fine. Okay, excellent. Okay, that's it. So that's the story for today. So how do we resolve this issue right now? How do we resolve this issue? Now, Ella was the one that made the decision. I mean, he had to make that decision with her husband, convince her husband Lucas to bring in another man that would do his own job. That was that would do his intimate job. Okay, so Ben was brought in, who was a co-worker. So Lucas trusted Ben so much that this would be something within, okay, would be some within an agreement between himself, the wife, and Ben. Okay, so it's a kind of agreement within three parties. But at the end of the day, Ella got pregnant, and Ben came back 2 years after to want to claim the child, and Ella was actually saying that would not happen because Ben, as a third party, was being only paid to sleep with her and not to actually get her pregnant to have a child. So that's how it stands as of now. So how do you think that this will be resolved? How do you think that this will be resolved? So paid to do a job, paid to do a job, but now Ben came back to actually say he wanted to claim the child. So how do you think to resolve this issue? Okay, so the question is there for us to look at. look at the questions again. The big questions, okay? The big question now I'm going to bring back that on the screen. Um, okay, that's the big question. How do you think this matter should be handled? How do you think this matter should be handled? Do you think Ben should be given the child, or do you think Hella was right in her decision not to release the child to Ben, as long as we know the story that Ben was the one that got Ella pregnant? So, how do you see this matter? How do you think this matter should be resolved in your own eye? So, how should this matter be resolved? That's what we are asking you to do today, and I want to hear from you quickly. So, the number, I mean, for those who are, I mean, if you want to call in, we've got some numbers that you could call in through, okay? We've got some number here if you are in Ireland. Let me give you those numbers quickly. The number should come up on the screen in a moment. Okay, okay. Those are the numbers you're going to call. Those are the number to call to share your view, okay? But for those who cannot call, like I said, you just drop your comment on the comment section on the YouTube. And also, if you are just watching this on your TikTok, you could also leave your comment at the comment section as well. So we'll take it from there. So for those who are just joining us again, I just say this is a story of a guy that got another man's pregnant, but was based on an agreement that he has to sleep with he was paid to sleep with another man's wife, okay? And at the end of the day, the woman got pregnant. When she got pregnant, 2 years after the child had been born, the man who got her pregnant, who wasn't her husband, who was paid to do the job of sleeping with her, came back to want to claim the child, and the woman was actually taking her stand to say that that would not happen, that would not happen. So how do you think this should be resolved? Clodak, thank you, Clodak, for joining. And on TikTok, thank you for joining. Clodak, please, Clodak, thank you for joining. So how do you think this matter should be resolved at the end of the day? And those on YouTube, please, on YouTube, please leave your comment below as well. I could read your comment from here. If you drop your comment, I'm able to actually see it from here, okay? Drop your comment if you are on YouTube as well, so that we can actually know how to go about this issue, okay? Paid to do a job, paid to sleep with another person's wife, but with the consent of the wife. Now she's pregnant for a third party, and the third party came after 2 years when after the child had been born to want to claim the child, and the woman in question was now took her stand to say no, that wouldn't happen because that was not part of the contract. You were paid to sleep with me, not to have a child or claim the child. So that child does not belong to you. That's just what it is. So how do you think this matter should be resolved? That's a complicated matter today that we need to actually look into. How do you think this matter should be resolved? Okay, let me check this one second. Wow, sorry. Hello? Okay, 1 second again. Hello? Hello? Yeah, I'm trying to see that. Okay. Hello, can you hear me?
Oh, yes, I can hear you.
Okay, very good. You heard the story, yeah?
Yeah.
Now, the first question would be one. Now, the first question would be, how do you think this matter should be handled?
This is actually a hard one
Why is it very hard? It was a contract.
because,
It was a contract.
like, but was the child part of it? Did they know that there's gonna be a child of the parties, or they didn't know? They were just sleeping. The agreement was just we just sleep,
Yeah.
or did they know that there's gonna be a child?
No, the agreement was just that the woman advised her husband, since her husband could not get it up any longer, and she advised her husband to get someone in that would sleep with her and get paid. That was just the agreement. There was no agreement
Not
that a child,
of a
that
child.
pregnancy will be involved or a child will be involved. So after
But
2
they did.
years, okay,
Okay.
I'm listening.
But if there was no agreement of okay, there will be a child as well. We want a child as well, but they should have told the guy that we want a child, and they should do this in the right way. Involve lawyers to say, lawyers, so that at least they know they are doing the right thing. Because now they are not like they kind of use him kind of because now they're having a child because if she should have used something for protection that she doesn't get pregnant.
Hmm.
She should have used so that there won't be any child. So now there's now a baby. So it means they are using this guy again to get a baby and no lawyer, no nothing. So I don't think it's kind of right now. But the lady should have been kind of right that he doesn't get pregnant.
Okay. Hold on one second.
So it's just
This is
that's all.
this is echoing.
That's all. Okay, now there's a child involved. A child came and then they don't want to be involved. That's the father.
Okay, that's the father.
Yeah, that's the father.
Yeah, okay, you believe that.
Father.
So you believe that because there was no agreement involved with regards to getting her pregnant, it was just to have sex with her, and you believe that now that a child had been born and the guy had come back to claim the child, that he has to involve a lawyer to get the child.
It would have involved a lawyer from the beginning with things like this was a child. That's why I say she should use protection. But if there's a child now involved now, that's another thing.
Oh, okay.
That's real another thing. They should have involved lawyers. But she is the one actually here because she should have used protection. They should have used a condom so that there won't be any child. Because now if there's a child and there's nothing, she doesn't have anything now. What does she have to say? There's nothing, no lawyer, they didn't sign none, no contract. They didn't sign with a lawyer.
Okay.
They didn't sign nothing. They didn't sign nothing. So the guy, I think he has a right to claim because they didn't sign. It was sleep. That's all. So she went to, and get pregnant. It means she knows what she was doing actually.
So you believe that it was used.
He was used actually because they could have told the truth that we want a child as well. That we
Okay, okay. I get what you mean. So which means that in your own perception, this guy was being used to bring a child into the world because they should have told him ahead of time that look, these are the things that will be involved in the whole thing. So it's just so okay. I get where you're coming from.
at least he knows ahead that there will be a child and I won't be part of that child. He knows from the beginning that he won't be part of that child. From the beginning, he knows this, that I won't be part, there will be a child involved and I won't be part of that child. So now he finds out there's a child and it's his child. He will want to be involved because he wasn't even told the truth from the beginning that the lady wanted a child.
Hmm.
Well, the lady looks like she's very smart. Well, she knew that she would get a job. Well, why didn't she use protection?
Wow. So
She's gonna face this because this is gonna. They will have. Because the guy will fight.
yeah, as it is right now,
Because
the guy wants to actually take this matter. So he's taking the matter serious because, as far as he was concerned, that child belonged to him. That even if the head A had to be taken, it will also result in his favor. So, but the thing that where the woman was actually standing was that there was no agreement between them that it was going to actually bring up a child. That is going to actually get her pregnant. So that's the technical one there. Daniela, thanks for joining.
use protection. Them said, okay, let's use protection for something like this, so that there won't be any child.
Yeah.
Let's use protection, and so that's what I'm saying. She knows what she was doing, because if they wanted a child, she can use protection with this guy, sleep with this guy, and go adopt a child. Or there are other ways now where you can be pregnant without sleeping with a man.
Okay, let me ask you a question. Like the second question, before I ask you the question, let me go to the second question quickly. The second question is Ben decision to claim the child is I mean is Ben decision to claim the child right in your own eye?
Child,
Hmm.
I don't see anything wrong with that, but I think they just have to co-parent, not that child completely.
To co-parent with Lucas.
With that, yeah, with them, because you see they treat him so. Then you see what sometimes doing things the wrong way. How? Because he's the one who wanted to sleep with a man. She couldn't just hold herself. She knew the husband. If the husband has a problem, there's a way people do to make themselves happy nowadays. There's so many things that people can do now. She wants to go outside, and so.
The husband can't get it up, and I
Mhm.
mean, she was on. She was she was quite understanding for so many years with that situation. But after a while, I think she got frustrated, according to her, and she not thought the option was to look for someone through her husband. The husband should bring in another man, and that was it. So, like you said, he said that he was deceived. Ben was deceived. That you said
A condom. They should have used a condom. That's easy.
as a preventive measure.
Somebody use a condom, and that's no one will be pregnant there.
So, are you saying that because she did not use protective protection, so it's a kind of a setup to get pregnant?
Yeah, to get pregnant, she wanted to get pregnant.
Okay, okay, I get you. I get you. I get you.
So I was thinking it's the easier way. They won't have to pay. It's a lot of money to pay for all this. They will pay a lot of money for her to get a child because she wants a child. Because the husband can't give her a child, they will spend a lot of money. So it's a shortcut for her. So she won't have to pay nothing with sleeping with Ben. So they are using Ben. So they say Ben is stupid.
They paid Ben for the job. It's not free.
How much?
I don't know how much they paid him, but it was being paid. It was being paid to sleep with Lucas' wife, Ella, because Ella also was the one that initiated the idea. So it was being paid for the job. And that's where Ella was. That was Ella's stand. Ella's stand was simply based on the fact that, look, Ben, you were paid to do this job. So, and that is it. You have no access to this child. You can't claim this child because that was not part of the agreement. So you are
There was even the child. There was no. There was the child is not supposed to come. Me and you were supposed to sleep only. No child involved. We sleep. You go away. I go my way. That's all. So now, why is there a child? The agreement was that we sleep, isn't it? We do what we do only. That was the agreement. So why is there a child now? The agreement was to do the thing, and that's it.
well, we don't know um, the whole thing. I mean, surrounding the whole story. Maybe let's just imagine. Maybe Ben was advised to use protection, and maybe Ben refused. What
I
if you?
don't think so. I don't think he can refuse when it's not the it's not the wife, it's not the girlfriend. There's no way he will refuse when it's not the girlfriend. It's like a child prostitute because you are being paid to sleep. That's the job of prostitutes now. That's the prostitution. You are
Yeah.
being paid to sleep with me. I have to. You have to use protection. You have no choice.
Actually, the story was actually so complicated, so dirty, in the sense that even while there are times that while Ben was actually sleeping with Ella, Lucas would be there watching.
That's even bad. I hope they're not. And maybe if they're not Christian, I think I will understand. But for Christians, it's even so bad. The whole thing.
So it's such a kind of a messy situation and very complicated right now. It's like a couple agreeing to bring in a third party, a married couple agreeing to bring in a third party into their home, into their matrimonial bed to sleep with the wife.
With
Yeah.
without a condom, and there's a lot they don't know. I don't know if they did tests because Ben might have STDs. Ben might have a lot of things. It's even for her to sleep without a condom. It's a big, and this is not the boyfriend. This is not the husband.
It was a
Not
co-worker.
sleeping with
Ben
a
was a
condom when
yeah,
there's so many things out there.
yeah. Ben was a
This is
co-worker
risk.
of Ella's husband.
She's risking her life with that because she doesn't know if she has ST, all these STDs and all these things.
Now, do you think that Ella made the right decision by advising her husband to bring in a third party to sleep with her in her home?
Hi, people's decision.
Is that very hard? Is that very, is that,
Because I would never do something like that, but I don't know somebody else. People were different.
yeah.
People are different out there. People really.
Tanya, thank you for joining on TikTok. Thank you, Talia. Thank you, Tanya. Thank you. So
Thank you.
then, is it Nico George? Thank you for joining as well. Thank you. Now, the thing is, when they brought this story, right, this story came in just yesterday, fresh from Germany. Okay, and I was just looking at it. I kept on looking at the whole thing. I was like, what's going on in the world? Different kind of stuff going on in the world right now. I think this could easily be a matter that will be resolved at the end of the day legally, because at the end of the day, they will have to actually go for DNA test. And if the DNA says, I don't know, if DNA says he's the one, then it could be its way. At times, the law, it depends. Lawyers will be in best position to actually get to know what could actually happen in this case. Because I've had a case whereby someone only signed the birth certificate. Somebody else signed the birth certificate of a child at the hospital, doesn't belong to him, and he went to court to claim the child, and the judge said the child belongs to him because he was the one that signed the birth certificate. His name was on the birth certificate, despite the fact that he was not the biological father of that child. So I wouldn't know what the law would say about this kind of a case, but the truth is that when the DNA is taken, then the fact will come out vividly. If actually, according to the story, well, Lucas couldn't get it up, and Lucas couldn't actually get the wife pregnated. So at the end of the day, it could be Ben that owned the child. So if they say it's Ben that owned the child, then they will not take it off from there to actually deal with the case. I take it off from there and deal with the case. So if you are just coming in, we're just talking about the case of a couple who actually agreed to bring in a third party into their matrimonial home to sleep with the wife. So Ella advised Lucas, her husband, to bring in a third party called Ben Ben was just a co-worker of Lucas in his place of work. But so Ben will come in, sleep with the wife, with Ella, the wife of Lucas, and get paid for the service. But at the end of the day, what actually happened was that Ella got pregnant, and 2 years after, Ben came back to want to claim the child, and Ella was refusing, I mean, to allow Ben to claim that child, basing it on the fact that Ben had been paid just to sleep with her, not to claim any child or get her pregnant. So that was the story. So the question we're just asking is that how would we resolve this issue? And the second thing that, I mean, Ben's decision to claim that child, is it right in your own eye? That's what we're asking. I mean, Debbie, thank you for joining. Debbie, thank you for joining on TikTok. Thank you for joining. So was that a very good decision? So was it the right decision? So that's what we are looking at. So the first question we actually asked people was very simple. How do you think this matter should be handled? And the second question was actually fact that of asking that, okay, the decision that Ben took, the decision that Ben took, was that a right decision? I mean, was it right in your own eye? I think, how do you say it? Understand? So there's no, like I said to people, like normally I tell people, there's no right or wrong way to these questions. Okay, there's no right or wrong way to this question. So we just want your opinion. This is a very complicated matter. Here we deal with complicated issues. Okay, so Lucas also was aware. Lucas was aware that Ben was sleeping with the wife. It's an agreement, okay? It was an agreement because Lucas couldn't get it up, okay? Lucas couldn't get it up. He couldn't get it up. So Lucas was kind of impotent, okay? He couldn't get it up. And Ella, I mean, got frustrated after a while and advised Lucas to bring in a third party that they could pay to do Lucas' job. The Lucas job, that the intimate job that Lucas normally would do with Ella, that had stopped. Okay. Ella wanted Lucas to bring in another man that would do the job. And Ben was brought in. Ben did the job, got her pregnant. After 2 years, Ben is coming back to say, I want that child. That child belongs to me because I slept with you to produce that child. And Ella had to actually take a stand against Ben's request to say, no, you can't have that child. You've been paid for the job you did. You've been paid to stay with me. My husband and myself paid you. We did not pay you to get me pregnant. Neither did we pay you to have a child with me. So that child does not belong to you. That child belongs to myself, Ella, and to Lucas, my husband. So that's the case. So how do we handle this issue? How do we move this forward? So that's why I'm asking. How do you think this matter should be handled? Okay. Katrina, thank you for joining. How do you think this matter should be resolved? How do we go along with this matter? So that's what we're asking. Please, I just encourage you to just drop your comment at the comment section, please. And for those who can actually join us, you can also call us also, please. You can call us on our numbers. These are the numbers to call us in. If you're in UK, the landline is +44, okay? 203 00 66 914. And if you're in Ireland, it's +353 899 666 222. If you are in the United States of America, okay, you could use your WhatsApp, okay? If you're using your WhatsApp, you could actually text us with your WhatsApp. You could actually send us that as well, okay? So we could actually get that as well, okay? So please, as I said, please, could you just tap your stuff, please? Just tap it. We're getting, so we should verify that it's been inactive. Do you have detected inactivity during your current life? Complete the verification. Okay, okay. We'll do that now. Um, okay, was 1 second. Okay, we've done the verification now, so we are back now. We are back now. Thank you. Thank you. So please, could you just tap your screen? Please help me do that because TikTok is telling us there's like kind of inactivity for a while. So they just went off a bit. So now, if you're joining us, so the story is about a couple that actually invited a third party to sleep with Lucas. Okay, to sleep to have is a conjugal relationship with the wife. So at the end of the day, she got pregnant. So when she got pregnant, she gave birth to a child. And now thereafter, at the end of the day, what actually happened was quite simple. That 2 years after, the man came back to say he wanted to claim the child, and the woman is saying, "No, you can't claim that child because that was not part of the agreement. The agreement was for you to sleep with me, not to get me pregnant." Not to have a child, okay, and that was what it was. So now, how do we deal with this story? So how do we deal with this situation? If you are, I mean, if you are asked to deal with this situation, how will you deal with it? Michael, thank you for joining. Handley, thank you for joining. Miha, thank you for joining. Liam, thank you for joining. I could actually say thank you so much. I appreciate you for joining. Oh, so how do we deal with this situation quickly? So let's quickly look how we're going to deal with that situation. So, well, I mean, the first caller had actually, I mean, contributed immensely to the whole situation. I mean, what she actually said made a lot of sense. Okay, so it could be like a setup to get for Ben to get Ella pregnant, and it wasn't part of the agreement. And also, if Ella didn't want to get pregnant, she should also use a kind of protection to keep herself from being pregnant. That's what she said. And at the end of the day, it was like it was kind of very trickish. That's a situation very tricky. It's a kind of a tricky situation at the end of the day. So the thing is, you as a person, can you actually do that? Can you actually advise your husband? For instance, if your husband cannot get it up, can you actually advise your husband to bring somebody else in to be paid to sleep with you if you're a woman? And if you're a man, will you agree, understand, with your wife's counsel or advice to bring in another man to sleep with your wife while you are there? Things like that. I mean, how, if you are to put yourself in that situation, how is that something you will think about? I mean, your answer might be different from my own answer, okay? It's just food for thought, you know. I'm just thinking aloud. So at the end of the day, so this matter is still ongoing as we speak. This actually happened in Germany. This matter is ongoing as we speak right now. So I'm just trying to like seek your indulgence in having your opinion on this matter. So I'm just seeking your indulgence, having your opinion on this matter, and that's what we're doing. Okay. Claire, thank you. Claire, thank you for joining. So I just want to know what is your thought on this matter. Okay, let's know what your thought is. Okay, Lucas and Ella. Lucas got married to Ella. They've been in a relationship, married. They are married for more than 10 years. Okay, at a point in time, Lucas could not get it up. Lucas had gone to his GP and had also had numerous medical appointments in the hospital with doctors. Okay, but this could not resolve his issue. Then Ella was quite an understanding wife or understanding lady, but after a while, she ran out of patience. She couldn't take it no more. So she wanted intimacy. And she now advised her husband, Lucas, to go and search for a man that could be paid to have intimate relationship with her. So Lucas thought of it deeply. Initially, Lucas was actually reluctant to do it, but after a while, he had to give in. So he gave in and spoke to someone that was close to him in his place of work, a co-worker of his. So the co-worker's name was Ben. They brought Ben in. So when Ben came in, Ben began to sleep with Ella, who was Lucas' wife. And Ella got pregnant, gave back to a baby boy. 2 years after, 2 years after, okay, Ben came back to want to claim the child. But Ella resisted Ben from claiming the child, stating that Ben had been paid to do a job. that having a child or get her pregnant was not part of the agreements. So do you think what Ella had said or Heather's stand is right? Also, do you also think that Ben's decision to claim that child is it right in your own eye? If you find yourself in this situation, can you advise your husband to bring in a third party to be paid to sleep with you? And if you are the man, will you agree with to such an agreement? These are questions that needed answer. Please could you drop your comments at the comments section below and let's have a look. So this is what we have for you today. It's quite be exciting to actually get this broadcast to you. We would actually come your way next week again with a new story, okay, with a new story. And we would also seek your indulgence in actually having a conversation with us in looking for ways to resolve this story, to resolve the issues that we brought in. Like I said, there are no right or wrong answers. Okay, we're just seeking your opinion, okay, on this. And also let you know that out there, there's so many complicated issues, okay, going on there that would need an input from people, just like having to know your opinion about this issue. So that's what we're talking about. So it's been very, very good today. Okay. So Lucas at the end of the day, Lucas at the end of the day could be seen as a person that as I don't know, could we see him as an unfortunate person? Because what actually happened to him was something beyond his control. Okay. What if you are actually Lucas? I'm just looking at it from another point of view. If you are Lucas, what will you do? Could Lucas just walk away and say, no, I'm not going to do that? It's quite very tormenting. How will you like bring a third party into your home to sleep with your wife because your wife advised you to do so? Well, it's quite complicated here now. It's quite complicated. So that's why we have the title of on the screen. I'll have the title of the broadcast today as "Paid to Do His Job." Imagine, paid to do his job. The child can't be yours. You understand? Paid to do the job. The child can't be yours. If you're watching on YouTube, please, could you just drop your comment as well? And those on TikTok, you just drop all your comment as well. And if you want to come up, please send in your request to come up because I'll be leaving this broadcast in the next maybe 5 minutes. Okay, I just want to hear from you. So, how will you handle that situation if you're to be in your situation? Will you agree to the counsel of your wife to bring in a third party to sleep with her? Or will you, as a woman, advise your husband to bring in a third party to sleep with you because your husband can't get it up? Would you actually get to a place where you are sexually frustrated that you allow that to happen? So these are just questions that needed answers. Please just leave your answers as a comment, like on the comment sections. Okay, I'm just inquisitive. I just want to hear from you. Okay, I just want to hear from you how you're going to handle this. Okay, I just want to hear from you. So leave your comments at the comment section. Just your opinion as well. Leave your opinion at the comment sections. I just want to hear from you, and then see how we're going to take things from here. Okay. Now, please, those on the, like I said, those that are watching on TikTok, there's a tradition of tapping the screen, tap, 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 tap the screen. So just to keep um, the program active, this live stream active. Because if we don't get that done, they might think that we are not active and just cut it off here, you know. So let's just get that done quickly. Okay. This story is very, very complicated. Like I said, at the end of the day, there could be a legal dimension to this issue. This can go to, to court. If it goes to court, then normally they will have DNA to be done. One DNA comes up. Hmm. It could go, it depends on the law. It could go either ways. Because the law, at times, you can't even trust the law, but there's some point of the law that I can say this is how it's going to end. But I don't know what law actually surrounds this. But there was one that happened some times ago that someone else went to sign the birth certificate at the hospital, okay, for a child. They signed the birth certificate that is the father. So when they went to court, the judge had to rule that the man who signed the certificate, that's why the father DNA stated that it was not the biological father, but the judge ruled that since he signed the certificate, the birth certificate of the child, that that child belongs to him. So at the end of the day, it was agreed that they had to co-parents. You know what I mean? But as I'm saying now, because that was what happened at the end of it, because the guy was actually thinking that he was the one who harmed the child. Definitely, he slept with her. Okay, that's also he could do that. He thought he was one that had the child, so he had to sign a birth certificate. But later on, the other man that was married to the man came up and said, "No, you're not the owner of the child. I'm the owner of the child." The DNA was done at the end of the day. The man who signed the birth certificate was not the father of the child, but the judge ruled that in as much that he had signed the birth certificate, okay, that he was the father. So he had to do all the obligations. He has to fulfill the role, all the obligation of a father, the roles, all those kind of stuff. He has to be present in the child's life, all the kind of stuff, and take up the responsibility, so to say, of a father to the child because he signed birth certificate. So I don't know how this will go in the court anyway, but the lawyers will know better. I think I'm going to speak to some of the lawyers and just pick up I'm going to pick up them their brain on this one and see how it goes. Okay. For those who have contributed to this and those who are listening to me, thank you so much for joining this live podcast today. On next week, I'm going to come your way with a very new story that's going to be something that we're going to need your contributions on as well. So normally we come up with stories that we actually heard from people. People send their stories to us. We broadcast the story. Josh, thank you for coming. We broadcast the story. Then we ask questions related to the story for people to give their answer. The answers you give does not matter because it doesn't it, no, the things that there are no right or wrong to the answers you give. We're just seeking your opinion that if we were to be in that situation, how will you handle it, or how do you think, or answer specifically some question attached to this answer the question attached to the story. That's what we are doing. We're just trying to create awareness, or can understand, for people who are in that same situation, to just learn one or two things from what you are going to contribute. That is why we tend to make this a kind of two-way conversation. So we want to hear from you how you're going to handle this issue. Okay. So my name is Mark Ben. So I'll come your way next week again with another episode of Complicated Relationship Matter with Dr. Mark Ben. Complicated Relationship Matters with Dr. Mark Ben. So I come your way next week again. If I come your way next, just do the right thing. Okay. Look out for yourself. Okay. And always remember this, okay, that relationship is to be enjoyed and not to be endured. Relationship is to be enjoyed and not to be endured. I just pray that you will enjoy your relationship. You take care. Until I come back next week, I remain yours, Mark Ben.